this is your truck, of course, and this is going to be where you're going to be filling at. You have 3 different receptacles. The top one is for defueling, going from one truck to another truck.
You have one of these in your sheet.
Yes, you guys all have the sheets. The second one down is actually where you're going to be connecting up to 90% of the time, because this location, that's the size. This one is next size down, or thereof. The bottom one is next size up. It's for faster fill. They're more likely at locations with where you can fill up. How would you explain it? For the 5,000 PSI connection,
they're going to be fueling here almost all the time for Newark,
so,
which
yeah.
is the same thing. So
Okay, so the top and bottom do the same thing, fill up.
yeah,
right,
well, they
it's
both
just different
fill.
sizes.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're just
The
different
bottom is
sizes.
more like for the overnight, right?
Yeah.
No.
Nah.
No, the bottom one
You're always going to
It's
use
just a different
size
hookup.
hose. Yeah, different hookup. So you're not going to be using that one if you guys are going to be filling here all the time.
That was still cool.
So how you know when the truck is completed?
Yeah, let them go through the whole thing.
Oh,
We're
okay.
gonna get to that.
All right, I'm sorry.
At this point, your truck's sitting at about a half a tank, roughly around 1,500 PSI. Everything's red in PSI pressure. We're gonna hook you up and show you the steps on how to fill up. Before that though, I was talking about there's a defueling hose. The defueling connection, the top one here, is to go from truck to truck transfer. That, I have the hose sitting right over here. You guys will be able to do that. The empty tank, or the empty truck, will get the yellow connection onto it. The full truck, or the truck that you're going to be fueling off of, will get this other connection. You would hook it up and then hook this onto the truck, onto the fueling receptacle, and it will transfer over from one truck to the other. Now be advised, when you do that, it's going to equal out the trucks, make the trucks even between the two. So if this one's at full and that one's completely empty, they're both going to be at a half a tank after that. That's how that's going to work. And it's simple, just
You ain't gotta hit no buttons and nothing. So just hook it up and just transfer.
you're going to hook this up onto this end,
Right.
hook this up onto the other end, and then
Yeah,
turn the
turn.
valve open, and it's going to
So you're
automatically
doing
go.
2 trucks at one time, don't you say?
No.
This is basically for either if somebody were to run out of gas on the side of the road, or if you need to work on the truck in the maintenance shop. That's the way you can take the fuel out.
You're gonna transfer from one vehicle to the other. Yeah, or as you say, if you got to work on it for maintenance and defuel.
As drivers, you guys aren't going to pretty much have to worry about that. I mean, that's really, unless you run out of gas on the side of the road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he couldn't for that. I had to pick him up.
So then you hook that
It
up
depends. Some of the
to another truck if it's empty.
Yeah, if the truck is empty.
So the empty truck will feed off this
You get
truck.
them side to side, you don't have to
Okay.
try and change it.
Exactly.
But they're only both gonna get 50%.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
And it evens himself.
It evens it out. Because all it does is equal the pressure out from empty. All right. Now for actually filling, you get your hose. I always suggest to start with connecting up the hose first, because the card reader has a timeout of 1 minute, and sometimes people fight to get the hose on, so it can time out. So you can hook up the hose first. First thing you want to do, which I'll try to turn this towards the camera, is you want to line up the arrows pointing at each other. You know, this one pointing down towards that one pointing at that one. And then that way, when you go to slide it on, it slides on nice and easy. And then what you would do, turn this thing facing.
No, you
facing
don't have
up.
to. He's just turning it so you can see it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you
Then-
have to twist it. Just
Yeah.
not-
Yeah. Then you twist it on, and it will lock on. Which I can't do while I got it twisted. Didn't want to work.
Alright.
And then, if you look, the arrows are pointed as if they're going into the truck.
Oh, okay.
All right. And when they're both lined up into the truck, it means it's on there nice and tight. Again, like I said, arrows to start towards each other, and then you turn it around, and that would be on the truck connected. And then when you go to disconnect, it's just right back the opposite direction.
So then it's on.
Yep.
And that's fast charge or slow?
This is fast fill. This location is a fast fill.
Do you want to give these you guys just a shot to?
Yeah, they
See how it feels plugging it in.
definitely. I've had it.
Make the thing first.
Totally was slow.
There you go. That's it.
Bang up.
Now I gotta fit that. Right.
It's full. Once it's hooked on, you can do a little tug, make sure it's on. It's good. We go over to the card reader, full little system. You insert the card. The mag strip has to be facing to the right-hand side towards me. Slide it in, pull it out. Ask you your odometer reading. For this, we're just going to put in a test of 1. I know that's not right for it, but you guys will.
1345, I think.
What?
1345.
Okay, 1345. Then hit enter, and I'll ask you which hose. That hose happens to be hose 3. So hit enter, or hit 3, then hit enter. It says okay, start pumping. Walk back over there, and lift the hill up.
Well, that gas can create a suffocation because it removes oxygen from an enclosed area.
If it builds up in like a room, yes, it's
Yeah, if it builds up
With
in a
this,
room.
it just dissipates in the atmosphere. So the same way that if you had one of your tanks punctured on one of these trucks, there's a safety that is not.
But the benefit to the city winds up being for that power less is that natural gas is cheaper than diesel fuel.
Yeah, and also talking about $1.25
And cleaner.
a gallon less. So you're saving $1.25 a gallon. It's cleaner. The trucks are quieter. This is actually less maintenance.
I gotta give that guy
You also, because it's spark ignited,
Cummins.
you don't have to worry about
Okay.
Goddamn.
when it's freezing cold out.
Man, I get
You
them
don't
on
have to worry about getting the trucks spark ignited the same way a car is. You hop in, you turn the key and it's on. You don't have to worry about all the, urea and traps and all that stuff with the new diesel headaches. You don't have to worry about it. And you actually are talking about half of the oil changes because they run so much cleaner. So you're changing the oil in these trucks about every other time that you put it in.
Can we go over these valves? Valves, I think we didn't go over the valves.
Yeah, I think Ernest touched on it a little bit, but
No, I didn't.
No,
No.
he didn't mention nothing.
But I can definitely go over.
All right, this,
The ones I know, let's put it that way.
Well, it's only the two. It's the defuel and the shutdown.
Before we do that, we'll go over real quick disconnecting the hose
Okay.
once you're done fueling.
Turn this and start it.
We'll go through the
I turned
process.
it off. I turned this off with the battery box because the truck's been sitting for a few weeks apart. So, battery's not being killed because they're just sitting out there.
Let him explain that when we get over there.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about the other stuff.
Before we go over there, once
He said disconnect that.
Solid drive. That's what it feels like now.
And now I'm fine. It's just like your battery switch. You're shut off for your gas. So it's stored in the tank. Right. You know.
You shut the batteries off too, right?
Now say you did have it in the opposition in a
day-to-day driving.
I mean, it'd be nice if
It's good to know.
my guy called me and said he's about to run out of gas and another truck can go in,
Right.
pull up, hit him off right quick. And,
Exactly. So you can
And then you write him up for failing to fill up the
Absolutely.
last time he came to
No
get
question, no
to
question.
dump.
I got to maintain
Now,
that.
do every truck get one of
No.
these?
Maintenance only got these. Maintenance will only have these. Like I said,
But when you have one in the
y'all
I'm saying you,
shouldn't
in the
have to.
garage.
Maintenance will have them. Maintenance, the maintenance garage will have one, and we'll have one at our
Right,
site.
that's what I'm saying.
and now
You have mustache trimmers?
maintenance
Mustache trimmers?
Nah.
when maintenance does need to use this, what they'll have to do is hook up the hose first because as you see this has no pressure on it. You'll be able to plug right into it, hook up to the other truck, and then you want to turn this to this position and it's allowing the fuel through
So
that
then you can give the blood transfusion
Turn
to
it
the other.
here or in switch.
to there.
Alright.
I'm so sorry, I didn't have
Alright.
Alright. And then when you go to disconnect it, you won't be able to disconnect this hose because of the high pressure. You'll have to turn it back to the normal operation, and that's when you hear that little vent. That vent right there.
And release the pressure.
And it releases that pressure to be able to disconnect this. And
Open
yes,
them eggs.
you will smell that rotten egg smell because that's the gas, and that's the smell I was talking about that you might smell when you disconnect this, your normal hose, because it's in the gas. The rotten egg smell. I can't even remember the name of this stuff. The Mer Captain, right? is the stuff that makes the smell.
Oh yeah.
Near Captain. But you will also possibly smell when you disconnect this, the regular hose.
You gotta let them know that door definitely gotta be closed. This truck won't start.
Yeah,
So you gotta make sure you don't break that latch on the side.
Right.
Yeah,
That gotta be shut.
it's gotta be shut.
Truck started.
And
Right, 'cause this is
that's
just
what
rubber,
that
right?
really
Right.
is
And
more
just
so
pull-
that
It locks the door closed.
it's a safety thing so that you can't pull away with the hose still connected.
Now the gauges.
That's-
Can you tell me a little more about the gauges?
yeah. Well, what they were talking about is the door needs to be shut. There's a switch here that will not allow the vehicle to start without being depressed, which is done when the door is shut.
And then pull the strap over.
Yeah, and then pull the strap over. All right. That way, you guys should always remember to disconnect your hose because you have to have this shut, or else the truck won't start.
Need a manufacturer.
Now, as for the gauges,
Yeah, definitely.
Pull it.
this gauge is telling you how full you are, just like inside the truck. I believe you guys have one inside the truck as well.
Yes, standard gauge.
Now, it's going to tell you how full you are.
Okay.
This is saying you're at the 36, which is full.
Full, right.
All right, that's what the tanks are holding is 3,600 psi. This one,
It's
honestly,
at 100.
yeah,
That's the pressure going to the engine.
Yeah,
The step down pressure
Yep,
to
it
the engine.
says outlet pressure. That is your regulated pressure going to your
Okay.
engine.
Output.
So that would be. I guess you have it regulated at 100 psi. I don't know what the trucks are originally set at. I don't work on the trucks. I know how to fill them, but I don't work on them specifically. So yeah, that one's telling you your regulated pressure going into the engine,
The engine.
which is more for maintenance. Or say you do drive away with the hose, what you would want to do is disconnect the hose, send it off to the side, and then there's this 1-800 number on the dispensers. There's going to be 1-800 numbers on the dispenser over by the compressor system. If you don't find it on the dispenser, hopefully there should still be one on the card reader as well. That 1-800 number, you call up, and it tells you right here on what you have to tell them. You're at Venta Energy Newark, and then give them this site number, which would be 17203. You just have to worry about that last set of numbers.
Okay.
And
Tell them you popped the hose.
and yeah, that you drove away with the hose, and then they'll send me out to get it repaired so that you guys can use all the locations again. If you do have another issue, say you come here, you'll hook up, you do everything properly, and it doesn't fill, 1-800 number, and I'll get here as soon as I can. If you come, you hear gas blowing off from out of any one of these lines or anything, call the number, preferably hit the emergency stop for if there is gas blowing out anywhere so that it stops pushing gas out. And again, 1-800 number. Like I said, the emergency gas is pretty much, or the emergency shutdown is pretty much if there's gas leak somewhere. Don't hit it if you just drive away with the hose. Please don't hit it just for that. Because that causes more of an issue for me. Yeah, they shouldn't be able to drive away with the hose because of the switch on there. But yeah, any issues that you have, the 1-800 number, call them. We'd be able to come out and help. And we have a 2-hour response time. It's technically our response time is anywhere within 2 hours we have to be here by. So I know that's a little stretch, but I could be in Scranton, PA tomorrow, and well, I'm the technician for this site, so it's a bit of a drive to come here for that. So,
And again, if for any reason there are issues at the station, which there should not be,
yeah.
we do have a station in Newark Airport.
Yes, there is also one at Newark Airport.
And same deal as this, different,
Same setup.
The only